Hello everyone, welcome back to Key Comics Market Watch. I'm excited today to make this video because I should have made this video a long time ago. I've been talking about the 1979 direct market for a while now, and the 1979 direct market was the beginning of the direct market for Marvel. I always show these books. The 1979 directs are the ones with the diamond on the top, and the slash going across the barcode. And of course, the regular newsstands were just like this, the newsstands with the box, and they'll say 1979 right there. Just like with the direct, they'll say 1979 on the side. So, the reason why I love talking about the 1979 direct market is because 1979 direct at the time, the direct market only represented 6% of the market. So the other 94% of the market were newsstands. So I'm giving you information about these 1979, about how rare they are. And of course, I always have people hit up in my comments and tell me they're not rare. I see them all the time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, when it comes to numbers, numbers are numbers, and 6% is 6%. And then the other argument, of course, they have with me is that, well, back then, when it comes to newsstands, whenever copies weren't sold, they were cut at the top, like this one, and sent back to Marvel for credit, and then the book is no more good and they'll throw it away. So, and then with the direct market, since they were comic book stores, they weren't able to send back the unsold copies. They had to basically keep them. So that's how the long box and short boxes got started, because they kept them, put them in long boxes, short boxes, and that's how back issues started. So as far as the direct market. Now, the argument with that, though, is that even though the unsold copies were sent back and no longer in circulation, 6% is 6%. I'm about to show you why the direct market, regardless, is rare. 1979s are rare. So right now I want to illustrate to you the percentage. So you have 100%. 100% is 100%. So you have 6% of the market right here, direct market. You got 94% of the newsstand market, 1979. So so I got 100 books here to represent the percentage. So this is 94 comics right here. So this represents 94% of the market at the time. And then I got 6 comics here, which represents 6% of the market. As you can see, big difference, right? Now, the argument they have with me is, well, they had to keep this right here stayed in circulation because they couldn't send it back. Okay, valid point, valid point. But the thing about it is, let's say they sold only half of them. They sold 3%. That means they had to keep the other 3%. So basically, all 6% are still in circulation, right? 6% right here. All right. Now let's go to the newsstands. Now let's say out of this 94%, they sold at least 60% of them, because if they sold anything less than that, Marvel would have went out of business a long time ago. Just to let you know. So let's say it's 60%. Okay, so let's take out let's take out all the books up to, let's take them all out except for 60 of them. So let's take out, let's see, 1, 2. So that would be 34 comics I need to take out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 20 so far I took out. All right, so let's take out this 20 right here. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. All right. So we took out 34% of the books that were not sold. So these are the books that were sold, the 60%, which is a low number. So I'm using a drastic number just to show you the difference still of how rare the 1979% is, because I really think, I doubt it was 60% that they only sold. But I'm being dramatic about this. I'm being a little bit, I'm going over the top with it, just to show you naysayers. So basically, what will happen is this other 34 comics that weren't sold will be cut at the top, sent back to Marvel, credited. So those are out of circulation. So the ones that are still in circulation were the ones that were sold, right? So let's see. Let's compare what was sold to still the 6% of the books of the direct market that's still in circulation. Do you see the difference? Still a big difference. Now, the other argument people have with me is that, well, newsstand copies, they all get messed up, and because you know how it is on them racks, blah blah blah. Okay, I understand that too. That's a good argument. But the thing about it is, do you really think in 1979, when the direct market started, that comic book stores were taking care of these books any better? Like, to this day, if I go to comic book stores, a lot of them still don't take care of their books. They still put them in these things with no bag, no board, and they all get nicked up, and they're not protected either. I go to comic book stores all the time, LCSs, and I literally have to go and look for the perfect book because they don't take care of these books either to this day. So what makes you think in 1979 they took care of them any better when it first started? So the argument about condition is non-valid to me. It's non-mute. So, like I said, and then the other argument I guess people have is, well, a lot of the books that were bought newsstand, the people that bought them didn't take, some of them disappeared, they weren't taken care of, blah, blah, blah. The same thing could be said for the ones that were bought from the comic book store. Same thing could be said, the people that bought them at the comic book store, what makes you think they took care of them any better? You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing. They basically they just bought it from a different location than buying it on a newsstand, 7-Eleven or CVS or, wherever the newsstands were sold at the time. So that argument in itself is mute. But the numbers are the numbers. Look at this right here. 60% sold right here compared to 6% sold. Or just 6% period. That's still in circulation. Do you see the big difference? So that's why I say that in 1979, these 1979 direct copies are rare, because look at it. And I'm just using an example of 100. Now, at the time, most titles that were out, like, I'll give you an example, like X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, most titles that were out at the time were selling about 200 to 300,000 copies. So if you take 100%, so let's say 300,000 copies. So 300,000 copies. If you take 6% out of 300,000, that leaves you with 18,000. So that means there were 18,000 direct market issues of Uncanny X-Men in 1979 with the slash barcode. 18,000. Now, how many newsstands were there? So out of that, let's see, what does that leave? That leaves 282,000 newsstand copies in the direct market. The newsstand market. So, big difference between 282,000 compared to just 18,000. Big difference. So that's why I keep saying it's a numbers game. It doesn't matter if you see this, you're like, oh, I see them all the time. Well, if you see them all the time, you need to be picking them up because they are rare. They're not as, if you pick up a copy of, I'll give you an example. Where is it at? Where is it at? Well, I'll just do with it. So, issue 129, all right? If you see Uncanny X-Men issue 129 from 1979, and if you look to see how many you find of the newsstand, and then you compare it to how many you see of the direct market one with the slash going across, I guarantee you, you're gonna find way more of these newsstands than you will the direct market one. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Doubt me? Do some research yourself. That's all you have to do. And so that's why I kept saying that these 1979s are rare because it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. You can't deny numbers. 6%. Here's 60%, which really was 94%. But I, like as you can see, I took out 39 books, which represent 34 books, which represented the 94% total. That was the newsstand market at the time. And like I said, that's 60% is kind of low. Like for real, it's probably more like 75%. So I really need to add some of these books I took out back in here to make it even higher. But like I said, I just use 60% as an example, as an extreme measure. Because if they were selling on 60% of the news market at the time, of the newsstands, Marvel would have went out of business that year. Trust and believe. So, but that's just an example I'm using, and I just want to show you. You see the difference. 6%. You see that? Look at this. Look, it's a big difference. So, please, people, just understand it's a numbers game. It's numbers. Numbers don't lie. Numbers will never lie, ever, ever. So, books being sent back to Marvel. Still, look at the difference. All these books sent back to Marvel. Unsold copies right here. And what's left? The sold ones. Look at the difference. So, I don't want to beat people over the head about this, but that's why people need to understand that when I tell them this stuff, I'm not making stuff up. I'm not saying stuff just because I want to say it. I'm saying it because facts are facts. 6% of the market compared to 94% of the market at the time is a huge difference. Huge difference. And not only that, I'm going to say this. The direct markets only slowly went up. Slowly. It didn't go up like the very next year, 1980, that all of a sudden it was 50-50. No. The very next year, if anything, if I remember correctly, I think 1980, the direct market was only at 8 or 9%. So it still gradually went up while the newsstands were gradually going down. Gradually. They did not even meet, like both of them weren't 50-50 until 1985. So from 1979 to 1984, the direct market still was less than the newsstand market. So that's why I always stress to get the 1979 direct markets, get the 1980 direct markets. In 1980, that's when they started having the Spider-Man face on here. That's how you could tell the direct market. And it still said 1980. It didn't have the, some of them did have the diamond, but some of them didn't. Oh, no, they did still have the diamond, if I remember correctly. But just remember, the Spider-Man face, it'll say 1980. Those are, need to get those. Those were still low. It still was low compared to the newsstand market. 1981, 1982, 83, 84. Need to get all of those direct market. Now 1985 doesn't matter because they were 50-50. Then after 1985, 1986 is when you want to start getting the newsstands instead of the direct, because by then the direct market had overtook the newsstand market. And as you know, as time went by, then the direct market completely dominates. Like they now it's just 100% direct market, and there are no newsstands. So as the years went by, you wanted, after 1985, you want all the newsstands after that. Nothing but newsstands, because as the years went by, the newsstands got more rarer and rarer and rarer. So that's the difference, and that's why you need to know direct market, early direct market you need to get. After 1985, 86, you need to get newsstands. So that's it. So I hope whoever, tried to debunk my theory, which is not even theory, my facts. I hope you understand you can never deny numbers. Numbers are numbers, like I said in my video. Numbers are numbers. These are the numbers. Look at it. Look at the difference. It's a big difference, humongous difference. And this is just 100 books. Like I said, when you compare it to what was really printed at the time, yeah, this is if you was to take a 282,000 newsstands and put them next to 18,000 direct market, you will see the humongous difference. You'll be like, oh my God, that is a humongous difference. So that's why I said these are rare. 1979, you need to get them when you see them. It's facts are facts. So if you don't want to get them, that's your choice. But one thing I will say is the years go by and as more collectors get hip to these 1979s, they will not no longer be, you'll just see them at will. They will become just like the 30 and 35 cents price variants eventually. And the Mark Jewelers and the Whitmans. Trust me, it will, people will eventually catch on to the knowledge of how rare these 1979 direct market issues are. And they'll start fetching a premium and you're going to miss out. And you're going to be like, man, I just remember a specific person made a video, made plenty of videos of this, and I still went against the grain and just said, So yeah, you can say I don't care. Okay, don't. It's fine. While you're not caring, everyone else is gonna be picking them up, and the premiums are gonna go up, and you're gonna be like, man, I just missed out on some good money. So, miss out if you want to. That's your choice. Is whatever. I just want to give out that information and let you know about these 1979 directs, because a lot of people, I really don't see videos of anyone really making a video about the 1979 directs, because I think a lot of people are in denial about how rare they are. So yeah, and like I've said before in my videos, me personally, me looking at Comic Link, I have noticed that the 1979s have been going up. Slowly, they've been going up. The premium's been going up on regular ones, like not a key book like this, but just a regular book like this, like that doesn't even have no key to it, but they're starting to go up. So don't miss out on your chance to get these 1979 direct books. And I would say this: go after the titles that were the least popular at the time. Like, don't go after X-Men, Spider-Man, all those, because they had such a high. Like I said, X-Men might have been at 300,000 print run at the time. So that meant there was 18,000 copies of the direct copies, of direct market. The ones you want to go after, I mean, you could go after those. You should go after those. I'm not saying not to. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say Godzilla. Godzilla, the 1979 direct one, is the one that they might have printed 100,000 copies of it. So by it being printed 100,000, so you got 94,000 copies of the newsstand, and you only got 6,000 of the direct, the 1979 direct. So there's a big difference between 6,000 and 18,000, of Uncanny X-Men. So you would rather go after the one that even got even a lower print run. So that, like Shogun Warriors, Godzilla, stuff like Amazing Adventures. Because this is none but a reprint of the older X-Men issues, the first X-Men issues. So definitely go after those. But that's about it. This video is too long. I just wanted to give that information out, and I wanted to debunk some of these people that doubt my information and doubt the facts. Because I hate when people just go against stuff without really thinking it through. Like, numbers are numbers. You cannot deny the numbers. Like, look at this. Look at this. 94% to 6%. Like, this is a huge and not huge difference. So, can't deny the facts. These are the facts right here. So, all right then, enough about that. Everyone have a good day. I'm definitely doing another video, either I'll be doing another hunting video or another haul video pretty soon, or it might just be something else. I don't know. But anyways, hit the Galactus head right here. Yeah, right here, or is it right here? I forgot. No, it's right here. Hit the Galactus head right here to subscribe to my channel. Like, subscribe. Hit the bell to get my latest notification. Everyone, thank you for subscribing. Hit this video right. Let me see. Hit the video right here for my last haul my last Market Watch video, and then hit this video right here for one of my older videos that you can learn something from, because all my videos I try to give out information. So go back to my old videos and you'll learn something. You know what I'm saying? Something. I don't know what it is. Something. So until next time, peace.